This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in our last classes, we have discussed VM creation, and we provision CentOS 7 server, and we connected using, so we created public key and private key mechanism. And we connected using SSH-i file and then username @ IP address. So this is what we did in our earlier session. So today agenda is BitBucket installation. So earlier we practiced with GitHub, but in our companies we don't use GitHub because of the security matters. So here we use BitBucket. So I have created a small BitBucket installation. So we'll go through this and I'll share with you all about this. So if you want to install BitBucket in a VM, so the prerequisite is you should have Git package installed. Git package in Windows, the Git client is Git bash, and in Linux it is called Git package. Okay, so how you usually install in Linux is CentOS servers m install git-y. Okay, so here you see what is the version of this Git. So it is 2.24. It's a Windows version, but in Linux version, how we install Git is m install git. So this is the command to install Git client in Linux versions. But the prerequisite for BitBucket server is the Git version should be more than 2.11, like 2.11 it should be more than. But if you provision CentOS 7 server, the default Git version you will get is 1.9. So this is the latest in CentOS 7. If you are using CentOS 7 in your companies, you have to go through the below procedure to install Git latest versions. The procedure is you should download the source of the Git from the below site, and then you have to start installing all these commands. So these are the commands. You have to install Git manually if you are using CentOS 7 server or below versions. Okay. So, but we have recently got CentOS 8 servers. There you no need to do all these things. So anyhow, you are not going to do this installation in your companies. So we will provision CentOS 8 server so that the default version you will get is more than 2.11. Okay. So can someone unmute and tell me, is everything fine? Screen sharing, audio.
Yeah, everything is good.
Okay.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, okay. So now we are not going through all this process because we are going to now use CentOS 8 versions. There you will get the latest versions of Git. So let's create one CentOS 8 version. BitBucket, I'm calling it. So here you choose CentOS 8 and firewall. So firewall HTTPS means by default the server or Google Cloud will open port number 80 for HTTP and port number 443 for HTTPS. Okay, and create the VM. So before installing BitBucket in your VM, so I have given you two conditions. One is make sure it is attached with static IP address. Why I am asking to attach static IP is, once you install BitBucket, you are going to share your URLs, remote repository URLs to your developers. Whenever the server is stopped and started again, so we'll get the new IP address. It's not guarantee you'll get the same external IP address whenever you stop and start the server. But if you attach this with the static IP address, Google Cloud will guarantee you every time you stop and start the server or restart the server, you will get the same external IP address. So that is one condition. And make sure the firewalls are open. BitBucket will open some port numbers like 79990 and 2 more. So you should open firewall ports for this VM, otherwise you cannot access it in the HTTP. So we'll now see how to attach static IP address. In AWS it is called as elastic IP address. So here go to the menu and come to the VPC network in it. So here you will see external IP address. Okay, so now you can click on reserve static IP address. So I'm BitBucket server. I'm just giving one name. You can give whatever you want. This is optional, static IP address for BitBucket. So you don't need to change anything, and select your region. So where is your VM? Select that region and attach to BitBucket. So you will see the VM name here. So what I did, I just gave one name and selected your region and select the server and reserve. So now what happens, Google Cloud will create one external IP address. It means like a static IP address, and attach that to your BitBucket server. See, this is the external IP address you got. If you see in the VM instances .176, right, automatically Google allocated an external IP address to this server. Whenever now you switch on and switch off this server, you will get the same external IP. Okay. So now I will connect with this SSH-I. What is this? Key name here, Git user, and then username, and then the IP address. Okay, so now I connected. So this is the first condition. Second condition is make sure the firewalls are open. So while creating the VM, I opened only HTTP and HTTP traffic. So HTTP will, what is the port? It is 80 default port, and HTTPS it is 443. So only these two firewalls are open, but not this port. So to open more, you come here and go to VPC network, firewall rules. So if you see now here only 80 and 443 is open. Now I'll create one firewall rule and I'll give all ports. I'm opening all ports for the practical purpose. But if in your company in production environment, you are not going to open all the ports. You will open on the specific ports what your BitBucket needs. But this is for practice. I'm just creating on all. Come to here, targets, all instances in the network. I'm opening the ports for all the instances and IP range. So if you want connections to be open from every laptop or every machine around the world, you have to give 0.0.0/0. If you want from connections to be open from specific IP address, you have to give that IP address here. Okay, and I'm clicking on allow all protocols and all ports and create. So now this firewall rule will make sure all instances in this network, all ports can be connected through any laptop. See here, all ports from any IP address in the world. But in production, you will give specific IP address and specific port. Okay, the second condition is met. Now we need to download the BitBucket software. So you can download it from this. This is the Atlassian company, BitBucket hosting. Now the latest version is 6.8.1. Just click on Linux 64-bit, get started. I agree. Now you go here and copy the URL. So this is the URL, copy link address. The same one. So now I need to download this in my VM. So to download any software in Linux VM, you should have command wget. So I'm just installing that command minstall wget-y. So let it download. Any doubts till now?
Yes, Shiva, can we install the GitLab or GitHub like the same?
Yes, like the same. GitHub you can't. So I never tried.
Okay.
I don't know whether GitHub is there for enterprise versions, but GitLab I tried. So you can use like the same way, BitBucket or GitLab.
So is there any free trial?
Yeah, this is free trial we are going to install.
So is there any time limit for this or?
30 days.
Okay.
And even apt-get install is also even I use that command to install at times different kind of.
That is for Ubuntu. That is for Ubuntu versions.
Okay.
So instead of you use apt-get. So there are different Linux flavors. For CentOS you use for Ubuntu you use apt-get, and Fedora there are a lot of. But CentOS is the most usable enterprise versions.
Oh, I'm practicing now currently more on Ubuntu. Okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. Maximum commands are same. 1 or 2 commands will change. You can Google it anytime if you want. When you move to another flavor, you just get apt-get in CentOS. You will get the result. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now I'm downloading. So and next thing, we are adding the executable permissions. So there are 3 types of permissions everywhere: read, write, and execute. So I'm adding change the modifications A for all users, plus X means execute access, and I'm changing the access to the execute level for all users whoever using this Linux server. And now you need to run that using // this file name. So in Linux, you run any scripts like this. So it will be asking confirmations. For yes, you have to give Y. Install a new instance. So I'm installing a new instance. I'm giving 1. And install a server instance. Data center instance is nothing but for your in companies like production enterprise. In your companies, you will give 2 data center. But for practical purpose, I'm giving 1. And it is saying the location of installation. It is opt Atlassian BitBucket, and this is the disk location. It is saying just click enter, and it will store the data into this location where Atlassian application and data BitBucket, and it is saying some warning. Make sure no data is there in that folder. And see, it is opening the port number 790. That's why I opened the firewall rules. Install BitBucket, yes. Install again, I. And then are you sure you want to continue? So this is the condition. It is saying Git is missing. So we have not installed Git. So I need to say no, and again I will come back to this. So now it was giving a warning, you have not installed Git. Now I will install install git -y. So in CentOS, you install any packages using install and the package name. CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, both are same. So now if you check git --version, it is 2.18, more than 2.11. So now you can install the BitBucket again. So this time it will get success. So asking again why. So it's launching in the background. So that's it. It said it is installed and can be accessed over 7009 port. So now what is your IP address? This is the IP address. On :700 Okay, so now it started connecting to our VM. So if you don't open the firewall, you cannot connect this. So it will take 1 or 2 minutes to connect, and then we can. Yeah.
We can port number.
7990.
Yeah, 7.
That is actually.
What?
7990 is a default, right?
Yeah, 7990 is a default. You can have your own, like 80 also you can have.
Okay. How we can change this port number in BitBucket?
So it asked right in the setup you would have given, or otherwise once you have started, you can go to the. So definitely there will be a configuration everywhere. CT, off, Atlassian, and what is this? BitBucket and version. So here there will be a conf somewhere. App pin, yes, lib licenses, logs, temp work. So you should have given at the setup at the time of setup, otherwise you have to search in the Google how to change the BitBucket port number. See, it's not only problem for this, it's everywhere the same for Tomcat, for JBoss. It is saying navigate to BitBucket server home directory, and there is something called bitbucket.properties. What is a BitBucket server home directory? So it is asking to log into your browser and change. That's it. So it's not the most important. You can try your own. So you can find the where is the property file and change it. Okay.
Okay.
So in companies, every time you used to connect with the IP address and that column. That's what
Yeah, if you have domain name in your company, usually with bucket.accenture.com. So like that. So if you have domain, you can attach to this. Like you can buy one domain in GoDaddy, attach that domain to this IP. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it started. See here, database. For evaluation and demo purpose, BitBucket will use the local file system as a database. If you want to install in a production environment, you have to create one database like MySQL or MS SQL, Postgres, whatever, and then install it. So this is for the production installation. For the demo and practice purpose, you can have your internal database. If you want to install in the production, you just see the documentation of how to create the MS SQL or MySQL Oracle database and attach the BitBucket to store the data into that database server. Okay, anyhow, it's not most important for us, and it is one-time setup. So it is saying license key. When you are doing that, you just create on I need a license and then generate it. One Atlassian account, you create it and then you can generate, but I have generated now. So it's not very difficult. You can figure it out when you click on this, how to generate a license key. So this is the license key. Next. And then you can set up the username. So this is like your admin account. Root account for this. So if you want to integrate with Jira, you can do this because it is from the Atlassian company, both BitBucket and Jira. So that's why most companies go for BitBucket so that they can easily integrate with Jira. So now I signing in. So like this we have set up our BitBucket. So for our next practical sessions, I will give you this URL and you have to sign up to this BitBucket like how you sign up in your companies. So you can imagine this is our company BitBucket server and you are the developers who will be working on the multiple repositories we are going to create and sign up for this. So I will send you you can note down this IP address. I will do one setting for this to sign up to this server by yourself. Manage account. Now settings, authentication, allow public sign up. So now if you type this URL and then just take it incognito window, you type this URL /sign up. So it will open one sign up form for this BitBucket server. You give your details and sign up for this server. So from now onwards, we are going to use this as our company BitBucket server. Okay, so I'll ping you this, note down the IP address, and I can send this in the message also. Okay, so today video can be uploaded very soon because I'm directly recording into the cloud. Save it. So now let's start create our project. So this is our company. For example, I have one company called 5 Markers. So in this we are going to create, for example, if it is Accenture, there are multiple projects. Every project will have their own folder. For example, this one is like 5 Markers, project name 5 Markers. This project key is FIV. This is one of the project in our company created. So we come here projects. So this is the project. It's nothing but folder. For example, if you are working for one project, there will be multiple teams, right? So that is the one here. So this is a 5 Markers project. Here you can create some repositories. Now I'm creating a repository. Hello world repo. This is a sample repository for practice. So now in our company, there is a project called 5 Markers. Here we created one repository called Hello World. Okay. So now we created the repository. All of us should clone this repository in our local. Okay. So using Git Clone. Okay, so this is server, right? So I will exit this now.
So you will assign to that user set who are signing it.
What?
You are going to assign that repository to that user set, giving permission.
I'm going to give the access to this repository
To whoever sign up using
your voice is not clear. Can you just type it? Okay. So I came here. So now this is my laptop. I will be doing development here. I'm in my laptop. Here I'm creating one directory, repos. Here I will do git clone. Okay, so it's already. And the problem may come like in our first class. So this is your BitBucket credentials. Okay, so it is just saying you have cloned an empty repository, but that's okay. CD. So now I am into the repository. You can see .git folder is automatically created because we have cloned it. So now you can start working on this project. So this is our project. Here I am creating some files. So I will open this file. I'll enter something. Fine. Forgive me. So just assume like this is a Java development or some developers are doing this. We started BitBucket practice. So I saved it. So you can remember now the commands git status. So it is saying hello world.txt in red color, adding it to the staging area, committing it, this is some message must commit, then git push origin master. So now it said a new branch master is created. Now you go and check here. So you got the code hello world.txt. Okay, so and let's do one more commit. This is another commit. Just the same git status, git add, give some message like added new feature, and then push origin master. Okay, so how will you see the log? Git log. Now it will say the message, who did it, what time, what is his mail ID, and the commit ID. So this is 40 characters. We call it as SHA code, SHA COD, SHA code. So you will get to know more about this in our Git advanced topics. But for now, every change you are doing, Git will track with the ID called commit ID. This is called as SHA code. Now you can see here the commits. So now this is the first commit from here. Now the commit is moved to the latest one. Okay. Now if you see, the source is automatically updated to the latest code. Now if another developer joins into the team, so he will clone this again using this URL. He will clone it and he will get the entire history of what you did till now. Okay. So now we have setup of repository. So we have files, and now let us do the real development. So what is it? Now you have to release one feature into production. So now what is branching before that? So without version control system, imagine there is a very important file. If there is a small mistake in the file, your project will collapse. So if you want to edit that, so what you usually do, you carefully create the one more copy and do that change. If it works, then you will add the content into the main file. So main file, you will copy one more file, do the changes. If correct, update the changes into main file. So this is the process, right? But in version control system, the same thing is called branch. Main branch, one more branch, test the code. Okay, do the changes. Test the code. If correct, merge it to the master branch. So this is the process. So now how will you create the branch? So for example, the developer wants for next feature. So how will you create the branch? Command is git checkout -b new branch source branch. So just like new file, and from the which source file you want to get the copy. So -b means it is saying you are creating a branch. Checkout means you are asking Git to check out into the new branch. Okay. Before that, if you want to know which branch you are in, by default it is showing here master. But if you want to know by command, you can give git branch. So it will tell you you are into the master branch. Okay. So now I want to create one more branch, git checkout -b. What is the new branch like? Feature 1.1. From which branch you want to create? Master branch. So it is saying internally what it will do is it will create a feature 1.1 from the master, and it will move to the feature 1.1 branch. It is like switch it to a new branch, feature 1.1. Now if you type git branch, now there are two branches available, feature 1.1 and master, but now your code is pointing to the feature 1.1 branch. Okay, so this is how you create a branch from the source branch and move to the latest branch. So now you can go and change it. So I'm adding new feature. This code is from the feature 1.1 branch. Okay. So now you do git status. It is saying modified. Git add. Git commit -m. New feature 1.1 added. Sorry. Git push origin. Now this is not master. This is our new branch, feature 1.1. Okay. So now you understood what I mean, git push origin feature 1.1. You are saying you push the changes into the feature 1.1 branch. So now it created in the remote repository, it created new branch and pointing to your, this is feature 1.1 of remote pointing to feature 1.1 of your local laptop. Now if you go and check here, you will get the feature 1.1. This code is from feature 1.1. But if you do check it from the master, your code is not available because I did the changes only in particular branch feature 1.1. Okay. So now you do everything, you add your new code, you test it, everything. Now if it works, then you will merge these changes into the master branch. So to merge it, how to merge? First check out to the master branch and then git merge. What is your new branch? Feature 1.1. Okay. So now I will check out to git checkout master and then git merge. What is it? Feature 1.1. So now it said.
Siva, a question.
Yeah.
If I have to merge changes from a branch of a different repository into my current branch, can I do that?
Yeah, so this is just for command purpose I'm saying, but this is not the way you do in your projects. Okay.
I understand that, but just a question. Say, suppose I give you a scenario, right? I had a repository and the developer had to start work. So rather than cloning the original repository, he cloned a different repository, kind of similar one, right?
Okay.
And he did a lot of changes, and he had to push, and he uploaded or committed all his changes into the wrong repository. Now, I have to bring his change from repository B into repository A. How can I do that?
That's not at all a valid case. I will directly reject that. How can you change into another repository and bring the changes into the another project? Is it? That's
just a question, so I asked.
No, that's an invalid case. So how can you do the changes in another project and you want those changes into your project? That is not at all a valid case. Okay, forget it. Okay, what is it? I need to check the status. Okay, so everything is okay. Yeah, so now you can see this is merged into the master branch. So now, so you have, instead of doing the direct changes into the master, you have created one branch and you did those changes. Maybe you tested, your team leader tested that code, and if we say okay, then you are doing the merge. But so don't think it is like the way we do in the projects. It's like more complicated because you will get a lot of conflicts. Why? Because there are a lot of persons working on the same branches. I do my code, you do your code, you'll get a lot of conflicts. So I will show you how you will get those type of conflicts in the real-time environment. So this is just to make you understand about the branching concept, how you do the merges, just to make you feel comfortable for the next session. Okay. So now we'll see about what is branching strategy. So this is the most important part of any project. So we follow. This is the place where the development will decide what is the branching strategy we should adapt and how the CI/CD should trigger, how the DevOps should work. So for everything, for any, you take anything, any technology, branching strategy is the first point. If you do it in a correct way, so your developers will have good time. If you do some mistake in designing the branching strategy, definitely you will face a lot of problems while coding and while merging it in the collaboration part. So now I'll tell you one of the oldest way of successful branching strategy. If you type here branching strategy kit, so this is the one, nive.com or nive.com, whatever. This is the successful model mostly all the companies are using 1 or 2 years back. So see, this is created in 2010, but this will only work for maximum waterfall models, but not for agile model. So when you go for agile model, you have to introduce a new branching strategy that I will tell you once we discuss this. Okay. So let's understand this now. Maybe in your projects or the projects who is not aware of the DevOps advantages, they may be using this, and some RESTful services, they may be using this, but the microservices, definitely they are not using this branching strategy. But still it's a popular, maybe people will change within next 1 year. So let's understand this and disadvantages of this, and we will go to the advanced branching strategy. So at any point of time, master branch will be doing production. Master branch contains the latest production code. So like how our master branch contains the production code when we were practicing. And then now you have to plan for a release. You have a big team. So what we usually do is development branch will be there. So it contains the latest developed features. Okay, so these two are the main branches. We call it as long-lived branches. So understand this, just at least remember, long-lived branches will be master and development. Master pointing to the production code and development is pointing to the upcoming release, and means like new versions of the current features. So now there will be 3 supporting branches. Feature branch, release branch, and then hotfix branch. So very important thing is from which branch you create these branches and to which branch you merge these branches. Okay, so now you know what is the source branch. So you should understand source and then target merge branch for all of these 3. Okay, so feature branch source is development branch. So whenever you want to create a new feature to your code, you have to create one branch out of your development branch, like git checkout -b feature. What is your feature name or version? Maybe 1.2, and then the source branch. Okay, so after this, you feel you did the changes and you want to merge it back. So the target branch also should be development branch. How you merge it? You check out to development branch, and then you run this command git merge feature 1.2. So okay, so what does it mean? So you have created a copy of development branch into feature 1.2, and you did some changes and you are satisfied with the changes and you felt yourself is good, and then you will merge it back to the development branch. Okay, so any doubts till now? Yeah, origin is mandatory. What does a commit action do? Commit action 2 will create one more version of your project. Difference between commit and push. Commit is into the local repository, push is into the remote repository. How to assign the repository to team? I will tell you this. Any doubts, you can unmute yourself and you can ask. So no doubts. Okay, so I will move. So in this, you read the same information if you go through this. Okay, so feature branch from development branch, merge back into the development branch, and the naming convention will be anything except these. Okay, so you can say this git checkout -b development, and you will do merge. I will tell you about this flag. Okay, and you are pushing. So theoretically, I am explaining you this because we are not going to practice this because this is outdated branching strategy. And then release branch. So release branch you will create from the development and you will merge it into the development and master. So this is very important. I will tell you about the release branch now. So now the source is development branch, and then the target is development and master. So this is little confusing when to, because I am creating the branch from development, but I am merging it into the two branches. Okay. So now imagine, I will show you this diagram. So this is the master branch when you are starting your project, and you create development branch out of the master branch. So this here and here, the same code exists. And from one point of time, you create feature branches. So these are the feature branch. So one feature branch, two feature branch. Imagine this, may be little confusing, but you have to practice this and have to listen this recording.
Shall we delete the feature branch once the development is completed?
Yeah, you will delete the branch for best practice. So you see here, I created a feature branch from the development branch, and then when it is done, the features I merged back into the development branch. So consider all the developers completed their feature.
From feature branch to master, is it acceptable or not?
It is acceptable, but the BitBucket repository settings will disable that. So those settings I will tell you maybe. Consider all the developers completed their features and merged into development branch. Okay, so consider the development is over. Now to release it into the production, we'll create one branch out of development branch. See here. So you create a branch from development that is called release branch. Okay. This is called release branch, and you do SIT UAT testings. So it's quite common. Before going for production, we do the SIT deployments and UAT deployments. There you test your code, and if there are any defects, you will send it to the developers. They will fix the defects, everything. So here you may get some defects, and from this release branch you can see in the release branch itself there are some commits. See here, only bug fixes. So you will do some bug fixes in this branch. We'll do some bug fixes in the branch. So bug fixing means changing the code. Changing the code means introducing new commits. So whenever you change it, Git will track it, and you have to say one more commit. So like this, these are the new commits. Okay. So at one point of time, all the defects are fixed, and you tag this release as maybe 1.1 version. So now in the master you have 1.0 version. Now you are going to release 1.1 version. You merge release branch into master. So you know how to merge it into master. Git checkout master, git merge release branch. Okay. So then whenever a new commit enters into the master branch, automatically some DevOps workflows, CI/CD workflows will run, and it will push the code into the production. Everything is fine. So now you are satisfied with the release. So what you have to do, you need to pull those changes into the development branch, because development branch is here. You created the release branch and you added some more code. These two commits. I mean these two changed code is not exist in development branch. You have to push it into you have to pull it into the development branch. So it's just like the same thing. Check out to the development branch, merge it, the release branch. Okay, so that's what the diagram shows. You released it, the successful release happened, and then you will at least here the successful release happened, and then you are pulling the changes into the development branch by merging it. So now you can remove this release branch, and here every time you merge, you will delete this branch, because when you are done with the file, you don't need to have that file. You can just delete the copy of the file and you can have the main file. Same here, once your release branch is merged into the development branch, so you can remove that release branch. Okay, so now one more release, 1.2. What will happen? So developers will get the another feature branches from the development because it has the latest code, and then the same process will follow. And the special branch is hotfix branch. Hotfix means you push the code into the production, it is working for 3-4 days, and after 3-4 days you suddenly got one emergency fix, you need to fix it. So the source branch will be master branch. This is variety because you have to fix the code in the production. The production code is always in the master branch, latest production code. So you will get this latest production code, and then target should be 2 branches, master and development, because you did the changes into the master branch, and then you have to pull those changes into the development branch so that your upcoming releases also use the latest code. Same here, you can see that is hotfix branch. See here, at this point of time you got some sorry, at this point of time you got some defect, and you created a hotfix branch, and you will pushing it again into the master and then development branch by merging it, so that master is pointing to the fixed code, and the upcoming releases also updated with the defect fixed code. Okay, any doubts till
Shiva,
now?
question here. Yeah, if release branch is merged with the master, then how the development branch will be in sync with the master?
That's why I am merging it, that release branch also into the development here.
Okay. So whenever we merge whenever we merge the branch, so the merging branch will be deleted automatically, or we need to delete manually?
You need to delete manually.
Okay.
If you want, you can have it, but after 20-30 releases, your code base will be more. We usually delete it.
Okay. So the master branch need to sync always.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we going to directly merge that master and the development branch? Is there any person who will handle like this branch is this?
We don't directly do the merges. There is one more concept called pull request.
Okay.
So whenever you feel some feature branch is completed, feature branch is completed, you want to push merge it into the development branch, you will raise a pull request. Pull request is nothing but you are saying to your team members, I am going to merge my changes of feature branch into the whatever branch, like development branch. So then they will see the changes. So what are the changes you made? And they will do some review. So they will do review on your code, and if 2 or 3 members give approvals, then you can click on merge. Otherwise, you cannot merge. That is the how we follow in production. So not production, real-time environments. I will tell you about this pull request, and this is the outdated model. I just wanted to walk you through all the common branches we have. Generally, this is the old flow, but the latest flow will have some pull requests and then fast forward branching strategy, rebasing, all those things, and squash. What is the difference between merge and rebase? Maybe I will tell you that in tomorrow class. So till this, are you clear?
So the master branch, let us consider as a production branch, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so most of the cases we are working with the development branch only.
Yes, you are working with development branch. You don't touch the master branch, and you will have.
So if any new developer joins to the project, so he need to clone the entire project, in the sense he will get master and all those branches also, right?
Yeah, everything he will get, but he is not allowed to push the changes to the master central repository. We do that settings.
Yeah, okay.
So here there are some settings. Where is our server? Yeah.
So from central server end we can.
Yeah. So you can do the changes in your local, but you cannot push the changes into the central repository master branch.
So is there any way to sync the local, developer local changes with the central repository?
Yes. So that is what we are doing, this merge things, all those things, right? So this is the
what I mean.
strategy. Yeah.
Okay, developer committed 2-3 commits, but it is not in sync with the central repository. So can we find that whether he's ahead of 2-3 commits or not?
Yeah. So for example, here you come and you can check the commits here, right, directly. So you can, what is the branch pointing? Master branch is pointing here, or at least another branch. Feature branch is pointing the third commit here. See, these same, it will be there in your local also. Git checkout. So what is that branch? Feature 1.1. Git log. So these are the 3 commits, right? F8
Yeah.
and so it
So one
exists
second
here
here.
also.
So we had 3 commits here. So for example,
Okay.
I don't want second commit here. So can we remit particular commit here?
No, ideally it's not recommended. See, you understand the commit is nothing but you are not removing a file. Consider you did some mistake here in this commit. How you are going to change? You need to change the current code. For example, what is this? So this is some, okay, so this is some defect code. See, why we have Git is to track everything whatever you did. So this is the defect code. Instead of writing some line, you have created another line. So now what you do? So this is the success code. Now you do, it's like one more commit only, right?
Okay.
If you want to go back to this commit, you can give git checkout this one. But that's not the purpose of Git or any version control, right?
Okay, yeah.
So obviously,
Shiva,
yeah.
if a developer is supposed to work only in the development branch, genuinely in a real life environment,
What? Once
suppose
again?
if a
Once
developer
again?
is if the developer is primarily supposed to work in the feature branches or the
Okay.
development branches per se in the real world,
Okay.
why when a new developer joins in, and
Okay.
can we ensure that he when he clones the repository, he only
Okay.
gets the development and the lower branches rather than the master branches? Because ideally I do not feel the need for a new developer to have the master branch downloaded when
So
considering
whenever
that master
no, no.
and the development branches are in sync.
So whenever there is a emergency defect, you are the developer working. So you will check out to the master branch, and then you will create a branch out of it, and then you will raise a pull request. Your team leader will merge into the master branch.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. But if say suppose also if we have a development today, we had merged into the development branch first. Everybody was happy. We pushed that into the master branch, production branch,
No, no. From
and there is a
development branch,
hotfix issue.
no. From development branch, we go to the release branch
Yeah,
for
yeah.
release,
So from
planned
development to
release.
release, from release
Yeah.
to implementation to the production branch, right?
Yes.
There
Yes.
is a bug which has come up now. Hotfix, and once we do from release into production branch, we also
Okay.
update the lower branches with the updated code, right? This is
Yes.
what the flow is,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
So now
Yeah.
if there is a production bug,
Okay.
then any which ways when you have the lower branches which are merged, which are in sync with the production branch, I can always pull the code from the development or the release branch. Why do I
So
still, as a developer, need to production branch?
so I will write this case here. So this is like while thinking about Git branching strategy, you may get lot of use cases. So like if this happens, what to do? If that happens, what to do? So I will just mention clearly. So you said maybe production release is maybe on 4th December. Then just writing the use case. Yeah, whatever you expressed your doubt. And development branch is, so okay, I'll write all the developers completed their feature branches and merged into development plan. So next thing, we delete feature branches. And then we create release branch from development branch. And you do SIT UAT testing here. You got some defects. Defects in the sense only minor, not major defects. If you get major defects, you are not allowed to do in release branch. So you got some defects, you fixed. So now there is sudden emergency defect in prod, which should be addressed immediately, otherwise your business go down. So what you do, you create hotfix 1.1 from master branch, and then you will merge back into of course you do some testing. I'm just not writing. Merge hotfix into master, and then you merge the same into the development also. Git, what is it? Git merge development also. So if you see the flow, yeah,
yep.
yes.
It makes sense, this flow. But on step 9, so if we have a we have a production issue, so would a developer be creating a branch, or it should be the project leader or the team technical leader, somebody who just creates a branch and then allocates a resource? I mean to say is that if you have in real time, you've got a certain hierarchy that works in a certain way. So and I'm also looking in from the administration and the rights perspective. Why would I want to give access to everybody to up to the production level?
See, you're not giving access to push into the master branch. You are just giving access to copy that branch. Now, if I have an important file, I will not give access to do the changes directly in that file. I'll give the access to create a copy out of that so that my original file will not get affected. Correct?
Yeah. So, but any which way, the copy of that important file, as in a production file is important file, and a copy is either a release branch or a deployment branch. I can always use the copy from the lower branches rather than from the production branches. Why do even I have to expose the production branch to the developer?
See, I'm saying if there is a defect in the production, suddenly defect, so you need to address that immediately. You cannot wait until the next release is going on. Correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you are not convinced, but don't think in a Git perspective, just a common sense perspective. So there is a code running in production. There is a small defect. It should be immediately addressed. And the code now is a master copy. So ideally, you should clone this master and do the change and push it. So forget about your release now, because your production is run. You are losing your business. Your client is losing business. You cannot ask your client, wait till we will address this fix in 2 weeks time. Anyhow, we have the release on December 15th. You cannot say this, right?
No, I understand that point. My question here is, when you have released the code, the final code from the release branch after UAT and SIT and all that testing, whatever, and everybody was okay, you released it into production branch, that became your production code. simultaneously when you had released that code, you also had updated all the lower branches with the latest version of the code that is available, so all the developers work on the recent code, right?
Yes, so from once the release is over, we will pull those changes into the development branch.
Okay. All right.
Correct?
Okay. It takes some while. All right. Now I got you. Understand that. Now I all right. Okay.
Oh.
Sure. Thanks, Siva.
Yeah. So that's all for today. So you just go and read this if you want again, and make sure you sign up, and so be ready with your laptops if anyone is interested to do the parallel changes to our code. Like this is our project. We are going to work parallelly on this project so that we'll get some defects and we'll merge it and we will push it and we'll do the production releases from tomorrow. Just sign up this, okay? And read this branching strategy. I will tell you the disadvantages of this branching strategy tomorrow. Have a nice day. See you.
Yeah. Okay. And Siva, outside of this course, can I ping you on WhatsApp separately?
Yeah, you can. That's why
Okay,
I'm messaging
sure.
you. You can ping.
All right. Okay. Sure. Thanks.
Yeah, see you.